Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Krishno Rakshatuno Jagatraya Guruhu. Krishnam Namasyamyaham. Krishnena Marasatravo Vinihataha. Krishnaya Tasmai Namaha. Krishnateva Samutthidam Jagadidam. Krishnasya Dasosmyaham. Krishne Tisthati Sarvametadakhilam. He Krishna Samrakshamam. Jai Sriman Narayana. Today we'll start reviewing chapter 15, Sloka 1. Badri garu, you can start.
Chapter 15. Purushottama Prakti Yogaha. Sloka 1. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha. Urdhva Mula Madasakam. Aswatham Prahuravyayam. Chandansi Yasya Parnani. Yastam Vedasa Vedavit. Jai Shri Manarana, chapter 15, Sloka 1 summary. The Supreme Lord said, this samsara is said as indestructible. Said as indestructible Aswadha tree with roots above branches. With roots above, branches below. Whose leaves are activities prescribed in the Vedas. Whoever knows that samsara tree, that person knows the Vedas. Jai Shri Manarana.
Jai Sriman Narayana. Okay. So, Sloka 2.
I can go ahead.
Okay, please go ahead.
Ataschordvam prasrutastasya sakah guna pravruddha vishya pravalah adascha moolan yanusantatani karmanu bandhini manushya loke.
Okay.
Chapter 15, Purushottama Prapti Yoga, Sloka 2 summary. Jai Shri Narayana. The Supreme Lord said, branches of the tree are spread upwards and downwards, nourished by the gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. The shoots are the sense objects, and the bottom roots are the uninterrupted karmic bondages in the world of men.
Jai Sriman Narayana.
Jai Shri Narayana.
So, you gave a lot of explanation for this. Any questions on this one?
In the world of men, why are you specific about men?
Men, I mean, in this world, basically.
In this world, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So while we are in this world, means we are taking these bodies, right? I mean,
yeah.
I have one question, sir. In previous sloka, Swami said roots are above and branches are down. Here again he is saying branches of the tree are spread upwards and downwards, but it is not looking same. The sloka 1 and sloka 2 are saying different things.
Some branches are upwards, some branches are downwards. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it is difficult to visualize. That's what he's saying also. Okay. So basically, if you look at a tree that is growing up, not all the branches are going up, right? There are, I mean, even on regular the tree, trees. There are some branches which are below, some branches that are above. Okay. And on that branch also, there will be sub branches which will be some are above, some below, like that.
Thank you.
But so basically the branches are going upwards and downwards, are there up and down, and the tree is nourished by the gunas. Or you can say branches are nourished by the gunas, or tree, branches are part of the tree, so tree is nourished by the gunas. And the shoots are the sense objects. So it's trying to, put all the things that we learned earlier into like one example, basically one thing that we can visualize. So we learned about gunas, right? We learned about we are influenced by the gunas. All the activities are because of the gunas. They are the agents of the activities are the gunas, not the atma itself. And then these activities are for the sense of, for experiencing the sense objects, right? Or basically the sense objects contain the gunas, isn't it? The sense object is basically the sound, form, touch, taste, and the smell, right? So those are all parts of the prakriti. That they're part of the prakriti is made of those panchabhutas. So prakriti contains the gunas. So basically, in order to experience the sense objects, we are running after them, right? And that is because we are under the influence of the gunas, or the effects of the gunas. And we are, the roots are karmic bondage. Basically, we are acquiring the karmic bondage, and that keeps on growing. Then we get firmly placed into this world of men.
Still, I didn't understand the idea behind why we are inverting the tree.
Yeah. One understanding is that, we, as we grow, as we get established in this world, as we grow means our ahankaram is growing, right? As we grow means the roots are becoming bigger and bigger. That means our karmic bondage is increasing more and more, and the tree grows downwards and downwards. So we get into lower and lower worlds, basically. So you can think of when the tree is downwards, let us say imagine it is not under the ground. The tree is not under the ground. Okay, so it is above the ground only. Okay, let us imagine something is hanging from a wall. Okay, the branches that are closer to the wall are, you can say those are sattvic. Okay, the branches that are below that are like rajasic, and the below that are tamasic. So as we grow more and more, you know that the tamasic, people take birth in the tamasic yonis, right? The bodies which are ignorant and mudhas, right? Mudha yoni. So basically, they take birth in lower and lower bodies. Rajasic people take birth in the middle, and sattvic people take birth, as in a group of families who know about Atma Jnanam, and they can continue that journey. Rajasic people, they are in the middle. They continue the journey of doing the activities for the sake of experiencing the results. with they do the activities with expectations. And then third is the lowest is the tamasic, which is like all these insects and also I mean stavaras. Okay, so plants and the mountains and things like that, which are tamasic in nature. So as we grow more and more, we get rooted into this world more and more, and it becomes difficult to come out of it. You cannot uproot the tree. So we cannot do it by ourselves. We need the help of Paramatma. We need to approach Paramatma or surrender to Paramatma in order to come out of this samsara, the cycle of births and deaths.
Okay, so usually the growth is from down to up, right? So in this case, inversion, the roots are growing.
The roots are growing and the tree is also growing, but the tree is growing inward. Inverted.
Yeah.
Okay, so the more it grows, the more it goes downwards. And the more it will be, getting all these lower and lower bodies, or experiencing more and more bad, or full of miseries, right? Because the karmic bondage is more. Obviously, based on the karmic bondage, the experiences will be. And the higher the karmic bondage, the more miseries will be.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Got it, sir. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, so next one, 3.
You can go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, please.
Chapter 15, Purushottama Prapti Yoga, Sloka 3. Narupamasyeha tatopalabhyate nanto na chadirna cha sampratishta aswadhamenam suvirudhamulam asangasastrena drudhena chitva. Jai Sri Narayana, the Sloka 3 summary, the Supreme Lord said, the form of this samsara tree, as described earlier, is not perceived in this world, not its end, not its beginning, and not its foundation. Having cut down this deeply rooted samsara tree by the mighty weapon of non-attachment, should I continue, sir?
Yeah, in Sloka 4 it continues. Okay. Actually, the direct meaning of this sloka stops here. And,
okay.
I presented, what is the non-attachment that Lord Krishna is talking about? So we cannot cut the tree because we are not able to perceive. Not able to perceive the tree means we are incapable of understanding where we are. It's not possible for us, like this could be the billionth janma that we have, right? Or trillionth janma, right? So we don't know what karmic bondage we are carrying, what are all the gunas that we are carrying, we are experiencing, right? We are under the influence of those gunas. We do not know. And what are the future agami karmas that will be assigned to us, that we do not know. Even this life itself, we don't know what about the next lives. So we don't know where we are in this cycle. So it is not possible to make our karmic bondage zero by ourselves, right? So you cannot cut down, and you cannot take the tree out of the ground. Taking the tree out of the ground means you're basically taking out all the roots. That means you're cutting down the karmic bondage completely. We can't do that. This tree has been growing for so long. Okay, we don't know where all the roots are spread. Like imagine you want to take out a tree. You look at the top, okay, and you don't know under the ground where the roots are, right? It might have spread for a mile. We don't know, right? I'm just giving an example, right? So we don't know where are all the roots. And even if we try to cut down some, cut down or take out the roots, we may take out only a few, right? So it is not possible for us to take out the roots. It is not possible to cut the tree because it is it is so big, it is so it is possible, it's not possible for us to perceive where to cut, what to cut and all. Imagine, I mean, you want to cut a tree but you are not able to find the trunk, okay, or the weapon that you have, to cut the tree is not strong enough. So Lord Krishna is saying that you can only cut down this deeply rooted samsara tree with the mighty weapon of non-attachment. So he used the word mighty and non-attachment. So I was just presenting what is non-attachment. Non-attachment to doership, towards the activities themselves. Okay, don't think that these activities are mine, I'm doing it for me. These are my capabilities, with that I'm doing it. So getting attached to the activities, getting attached to the results, I mean, so non-attachment to the results of those activities. Okay, so basically, when we get the result, don't think that these results are for me to enjoy. And also, if the result is according to our expectations, go jump up and down and be excited about it, very happy. If the results are not according to our expectations, being depressed, unhappy, sad. So it shouldn't be that. And then non-attachment towards the objects that contain the gunas. So these are the two that we learned in the last two chapters specifically. So guna, not attached to the objects that contain the guna. So anything that is not Atma, we should not be attached to, right? So our body, all the objects in this world that contain the gunas, the qualities of Prakriti, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So we shouldn't be attached to those objects, and we should not be attached to the effects of the gunas. So they will fall on us, because of our karmic bondage and the activities that we do. We have to perform the activities that are assigned to us. We have to do our duties. While doing those duties, sometimes those effects of the qualities, effect of the gunas will fall on us. Then we should be indifferent to them, not attached to them. So that is the non-attached. Only with this we can cut the tree. Yeah.
So basically, this nature of the attachment, right, is only for Manisha Janma, sir? Or I mean, like
it is for all janmas.
Like if it is animal, I don't know. I mean, we don't know how we really animal inside, right? I mean, to me, animal are more detached from even like when they give birth to their babies, they just make them grow on their own. And
that is because of the tamasic nature, that their inattention, right? See, it's not like all animals are like that, or they are able to detach themselves from the family because of the knowledge that it has. It is not because of that. So it is because of the tamasic nature. It is not able to, take care of the babies. Okay. So it is not like, I mean, once a baby is born, it is the body's responsibility to take care of the babies. If somebody is not doing that, then that is tamasic nature. Okay. But so that is tamasic nature with that. So see, this detachment doesn't mean that running away from the duties or not doing the activities. We have to do our duties, but with non-attachment. Karma.
Yeah, we don't know how animal is, but
See, all the
these
animals,
things,
it's a good point actually that, if somebody is not doing their duty, relinquishing the duty itself, relinquishing the activity or not performing the activity, it is not non-attachment. I'm not attached to the duty, so I'm not doing it. That is not correct. I am doing the duty, but I am not attached to it. That is the right one.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what I'm thinking is we can't go into animals inside and thinking like whether these animals are doing their activities with this type of knowledge, right? I mean, they kill, they eat, or whatever they have to eat, they eat. I mean, to me, it looks like they're doing as per the this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. But like you said, I mean, they're Manushya Janma is the highest, right? Better than animal.
Yeah. Yes. We at least know. I mean, all this. We have this knowledge. We can realize and respond. Animals only react. So that realization is not there for animals. Again, Sri Swamiji's, the difference between an animal and human, and not all humans. Humans behave like animals also. But the humans who, we have the capability to realize. And then we can respond according to the realization. Not like just react to whatever we experience. Okay, so we can realize that we are different from body. We can realize the truth, the three truths, right? The tattvatrayas, right? So Atma, Prakriti, and Paramatma. We can have the realization, and based on that realization, applying that knowledge, we can respond to any activity, any situation that we face, any experience. Okay, so that is Manushya Janma. That is not there for any animal. That's why they're all either Rajasic or Tamasic. I mean, they're they're not able to. They do not have that knowledge at all about Atma and I'm different. I need to do this. So yeah, I mean, if you see an animal not taking care of the babies, not taking care of the family, not only animals, like even human beings, right? Anyone who is not doing their duty, it is not non-attachment.
Yeah. And also, I think animals, the main thing is they lack discrimination capability.
Yes, right.
They don't have the ability to adjust themselves. For example, if you do some harm to the animal or give wrong food, still it will eat it because it doesn't have the discrimination capability.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is the tamasic nature. So tamasic nature is ignorance, right? So they do not know what is right from what is wrong. I mean, they cannot differentiate what is good for it, what is not.
I mean,
good for
again,
you.
right, sir. So again, every animal will come with their own vasanas, I think, right? Because I have a 100-pound Labradoodle, right? He's very close to me and very attached, right? So, and then growing up, I always had dogs, and they all have different temperaments, right? And then my baby, my boy, I work, and then he's always with me, right? When I'm working from home. So I started working from home just because I had a puppy a few years back, because I had to train and everything. So he got attached to me more. And then when I'm working, he's not coming closer to me or anything. He's sleeping, and then he's not disturbing me. Moment I log into satsang classes, he's just coming and sitting with me, and he wants me to sit with him. So I don't know.
Wow.
He wants to listen up continuously, and then things like that, right? And again, discrimination. Yeah, he has his own temperaments, but he doesn't eat anything anybody gives, right? So there's many things he's different, right? So I don't know. Maybe
yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I mean, that's why I say that it is not like we cannot generalize everything. Even human beings are worse than animals sometimes. Some animals are better than human beings, right? But in general, they lack the ability to gain the knowledge. For example, we are able to understand Bhagavad Gita and respond based on that knowledge that we are gaining. Unfortunately, an animal may not be able to get that knowledge and respond based on that. It will have its own vasanas, as you rightly said, and being associated with the sattvic people, definitely it will it will also, I mean, the whatever animal, it will also have different responses, right? So as we learn, right, one parrot, two parrots, one parrot staying with the sattvic family and another parrot staying with rajasic family or tamasic family. They learn what is happening around, and accordingly they respond back. So human beings are also like that. Animals are no different. So, but in general, if we are speaking, we have the ability to learn and use that knowledge for our responses. But in general, animals do not have that. And as we go down and down, like insects obviously don't have that. They can differentiate what they're eating. I mean, the point here is that about non-attachment. If someone is not doing their duty, it is not non-attachment. That is what we need to remember, because that's confusion. If we want to run away from our duty, I'm becoming more and more sattvic, I want to leave all my activities because I want to have non-attachment to all this world. That is not right. Sri Swamiji is so much engaged with the society to improve the society, does activities throughout the day. But these activities are based on the learning, based on the shastras, based on the whatever is needed, because Paramatma loves everyone, and whoever is suffering, we need to take care of them. That is our duty. So we need to do our duties. That is, but whenever we are doing it, we have to do it with non-attachment. I am doing these activities are for me, the results are for me, activities are by me, and the results are for me. And with attachment to the gunas, the qualities. If we do that, then it will be a problem.
Yeah, but I feel animals that way. I mean, I don't mean to. I'm not challenging. I understood your concept, what you explained to differentiate between Manushya Janma and animals. But to me, if I think animals are doing their duty, like sometimes people compare like giraffe, right? as soon as he has baby, then it kicks the baby so that it'll run. It's dharma, right? The animal is doing its dharma as a nature of that animal, particular animal.
That is what I mean. Whatever duties are that way, actually animals are better than human
I
beings.
feel. Yeah, that's what I feel.
So a dog is so like faithful to the to the master.
Owner. Yeah.
Compared to human beings.
Mhm.
So right. So animals do their duties properly, like the birds, they wake up at correct time, and the way they migrate from one place to another place as a group, right?
Yeah.
They are doing their duties. They have a lot of knowledge as well, right? Like birds have GPS in their brain. We don't. I mean, they can actually go thousands of miles one way and then come back thousands of miles in other way, exactly to the same place every year.
Right.
Okay, so I mean, they have so many capabilities, skills that we don't have. Okay, so they are born with certain abilities, and they are born and they do those absolutely fine. So that's why Sri Swamiji says it is human beings who have to learn. See, the learning is going to the next level, right? Atma. The learning about Atma, that unfortunately animals don't have that capability. So they do their duties. They are very faithful. They are very good. Of course, I'm not talking about everything, but some of the animals are really good, better than human beings. But unfortunately, they do not have the concept of Atma and body being separate. Okay, it's human beings who can get that knowledge, and they have the opportunity to improve based on that knowledge. Not everybody will be inclined to learn. Not everybody who learns will be able to apply. But human beings are the only ones who can. So even if, let us say, the parrot is able to speak the words that we are teaching, right? Give Bhagavad Gita knowledge to it, it is not able to understand. It's not able to apply at all. It's incapable of using that knowledge. Okay, so based on the association that the animal that has with sattvic people, in case of the dog, he is coming and listening to this Bhagavad Gita along with you, Rupaji, right? So dog is going to the next level. I mean, so someone asked a few sessions back, what happens to the animals? Can they ever get a human life, right? Or someone who is human gets an animal life, how can they get back, right?
Yeah, that was
so this is how it is. I mean, the dog is it is fortunate enough that it is able to be with the family where it can get the association. I mean, just being associated with the sattvic people, that gives the good fortune, and it will take birth as it will grow up the chain, basically. So next life will be better than what the current life is.
Okay.
So even human beings also, like we are probably just learning. It took long time for us to know this about Bhagavad Gita and all that, and we just started applying, and then probably, unfortunately, if we have to leave, the next life is going to be a step up, right? We'll start the journey very early in the life.
So it's possible that our Janma, now current Janma could be first Manush Janma, or we would have taken many Manusha also, right? In the previous births.
Yeah, it could be many Manushas, many other lives,
Other
Deva,
things.
Manusha, Tiryak, Stavara, any of those four. We could have been, we could have taken both as a Devata also, Devas. And Manushas, next is the animals, birds, insects, and everything. And finally, Stavaras, the ones that don't move at all. Could be any of those.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Thanks.
Sure. Okay.
Sir, I have one question.
Sure.
Paramatma said Aswadha Vriksha. Is there any reason he chose only that people tree, or just one tree example he just named that word?
Good question. I think it has, as I was saying, right, the Ashwatha Vriksha has a lot of significance in Vedas. And Ashwatha Vrikshas, they have long life. They can grow big, right? So when Paramatma compared, like when he was mentioning about all his forms, different forms.
Yes.
He said, in Vrikshas, I am the Ashwatha Vriksha.
Aswadha Vriksha, yes.
So it is one of the, I mean, you can say the majestic, right, of all. So, you think of something really big, okay, really huge and having long life. What tree you would come up with? Ashwatha Vriksha. Maybe there are other trees also, but this is something that everyone considers, widely accepted. So that's why Lord Krishna would have chosen this. Because, I mean, he cannot say small, very small tree, a neem tree, or, some mango tree, because we know that's, it's inferior, right? It doesn't grow that big, or doesn't have complexity and, all that. So to match the samsara is going on forever, right? Eternal. And it is having a lot of branches. It is growing big. It has a long life and really complex structure. So maybe Ashwatha tree is a good example.
Okay.
I think in the Mahabharata also, I think Pandavas, they hide their
weapons.
Yeah, I think they explained, I guess. I have not read.
Yeah.
No. That tree is different, Usha.
Okay.
They call it as, in Telugu, they call it as Jammi tree. Jammi chettu.
Oh, Jammi Vriksha. Okay. Jammi, people ni antaru much. People tree.
Ravi chettu. People tree is Ravi chettu.
Correct.
People is figs, I think, fig tree. That's what I'm just Googling it for the last 15 minutes. I'm just trying to, it's a fig tree, they say.
I mean, the importance
tree,
is not about the name of the tree. Importance is to understand that we are in the samsara tree. Okay. So it could be any tree. Actually, you can even call it a samsara tree. So it is going. It has millions of years of life, and it has so many branches. It is growing too big. Imagine that way. It could be, I mean, even Ashwatha tree that you see, we are able to see, may not be as complex as a samsara tree, right? It doesn't have so many millions of years of life, but it is a good example. So we shouldn't be thinking too much about the Ashwatha tree itself, but use that as an example to understand samsara or about ourselves.
So, listening to this conversation, a thought crossed my mind.
Sure.
Yeah. So we're discussing about animals and human beings. So I was just thinking, there is a very less possibility for any soul that's born as an animal to go down the chain of, of what the human people want to evolve and come up now, because they perform all their duties. Whereas for human beings, since we are in bondage and all, maybe it's very tough for us to keep on going up. But whereas there will be very few animals maybe who they'll perform that janma and fulfill all duties and go up the tree, not down anymore. I was just thinking of it that way.
Yeah, I was also thinking.
That's
but
what
unfortunately, it is not just one life, right? We are carrying our, so much karmic bondage. Probably our next millions of lives is also written.
Yeah. Or maybe we can say we don't have more karmic bondage added in an animal life. That's what we can say, maybe.
Yeah. It is so basically like this, right? So there are two different things. One is guna sangha, and other one is karmic bondage. Okay, so whatever gunas that we are attached to, okay, based on that our next life will be determined. And from the karmic bondage, some of the karmic vasanas will be assigned to us. I mean, whatever we need to experience based on that karmic bondage will be assigned to us in that particular life. Okay, so if an animal is rajasic in nature, it is very likely that it will be taking birth as a rajasic only. But an animal that is supposed to be rajasic could also become tamasic. We don't know. I mean, it is possible that it is lazy and not doing its duties. See, it's not that only humans will be having faults, right? Right. It is possible that everyone is impacted by the three qualities that exist in the nature. We hear stories like if there are two different dogs, one dog is doing its duty, other dog is always even jumping on the master and not doing. I mean, it's very unlikely, but it could happen. So it is possible that every life, every body gets impacted by the three qualities in nature, and based on what they are attached to, it will, that Jivatma will take the next birth, and based on the karmic bondage that we are carrying, those activities will be assigned in that particular life. So it is, if someone is doing their duty properly and not changing their guna, then they're likely to get same life. So if an animal is perfectly doing its duty without, animal is rajasic, it is doing its duty 100% fine, perfectly, and continuing the rajasic, will take another rajasic birth. And in between, if it got some blessings blessings, then it would take rajasic human birth. It's possible.
That's
so
yeah, that's what I was wondering. What made made the animal to take a manusha jarma? Probably he'll take a manusha with the rajasic qualities.
Yeah. It could be manusha with rajasic qualities, or if the animal is very sattvic, and got blessed by great gurus, acharyas, people.
Like cows,
like
maybe
Rupas.
most of the cows and elephants.
Yeah. So those are, I mean, those are the things that we can think of. That, but in our life, when we apply to it to our life, basically, we need to think of these things, do with non-attachment, in order to come out of the samsara. You know, it's not like okay, I'm non-attached for one day or maybe 10 years even. It is possible to simply come out of the samsara cycle of births and deaths. We cannot say, but we are on the right path. So that will come later in the next sloka. So having cut the tree, right? So that is where it stopped. Having cut down the deeply rooted samsara tree by the mighty weapon of non-attachment. So let's look at the sloka 5. So 4, right?
4 and sloka 4.
Yeah. Who will chant 4?
We didn't do it last time, Anne.
Oh, didn't do it? Okay. Okay. Om Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha. Jai Srimanarayan. Okay, let's chant. Tatah padam tat parimargitavyam.
Tatah padam tat parimargitavyam.
Yasmin gata na nivartanti bhuyaha.
Yasmin gatana nivartanti bhuyaha.
Tameva chadyam purusham prapadye.
Tameva chadyam purusham prapadye.
Yatah pravrutti prasruta purani.
Yatah pravrutti prasruta purani.
Let's chant together.
Tatah
padam tat parimargitavyam. Yasmin gata
gatana nivartanti bhuyaha. Tameva chadyam purusham prapadye.
Yatah
Yatah pravrutti prasruta purani.
So, tataha padam tat parimargitavyam. So we talked about in the previous sloka, having cut down the cut down this deeply rooted samsara tree with mighty weapon of non-attachment. So from that non-attachment, okay, it only says tataha, so we have to understand that it is from that non-attachment. Tat padam parimargitavyam. So padam is a destination, state, in a final state, goal, right? If we are translating it in a just a word translation, the Sanskrit word translation, tat padam parimargitavyam. So we have to seek that destination. What is the destination, or what is that state that we need to seek? Yasmin gataha na nivartanti bhuyaha. So having reached that state, yasmin gataha na nivartanti bhuyaha, one does not return back. Again, bhuyaha is again. So one does not return back again. Okay. Tam evacha adyam purusham prapadyet yatah pravrutti prasruta purani. So 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 we need to seek that destination, that state from where we do not return again back to the samsara. That means we do not take birth again in this world of men. Okay. And Lord Krishna is saying prapadyet. So we need to surrender, right? So after seeking the destination, so in order to see, I have a desire to reach the destination. First, I need to know that there is some destination. That is my goal. The goal is not to return back. But in order to reach the destination, what should I do? I should be doing prapadye. So I need to surrender. Okay. Surrender to who? Tam Adyam Purusham. So that Adyam is the ancient, earliest, primeval, and I mean the first, you can say the first. Okay, that initial, earliest, but of course we are all existing from day. There's nothing called day one for Atma. When we are never born, right? From something, from thin air. So we are always there in the past. But if you compare ourselves to Paramatma, he is the Adyam Purusham, so the Adi Purusha. So he is, we can translate that as the supreme Purusha is Atma, right? We learned that Purusha meaning is Atma. So Adyam Purusham is not us. It is not like, okay, I want to surrender to myself, right? Then the sentence will be different, right? He's saying that you seek the destination from where you do not return back. For that, what we need to do is Tam Adyam Purusham Prapadyet. You need to surrender to that. So there's somebody else other than us, right? And he didn't just say that Tam Purusham, because it could be anybody, right? If I say, pen, it could be any pen, but that, that great pen or that initial pen or something like that, then you know that there's one. It is not like many. So Tam Adyam Purusham, that supreme Atma. Okay. And who is he? I mean, what is special about this Tam Adyam Purusham, that supreme Paramatma, supreme Atma, is Yataha Pravrittihi Prasruta Purani, from whom alone this entire process has started or emanated or is progressing today. So we are not the ones who created this, right? There's one creator. Okay. So that creator is also Atma, but he is a different Atma. See, this is where from where we can clearly start saying that we are different, distinct from Paramatma, right? So what he's saying is, you are in this samsara tree. Okay. You need to practice non-attachment. And from that non-attachment, you need to seek a destination from where you do not have to come back to this samsara. And for that, you need to surrender to that Adi Purusha, that Supreme Atma, from whom everything evolved. Or basically, in other words, who is the creator. from whom everything, he is the one who is creating everything, who is controlling and protecting everything. So we need to surrender to that Paramatma. So he didn't stop here saying that, oh, practice non-attachment and then you will achieve the destination. Okay, we will not be able to do it by ourselves. Even if we try to practice non-attachment, we either will not be successful, our efforts will not be enough. Okay, right? So we need to surrender to Paramatma, and only Paramatma can basically relieve us out of this, or liberate us from this samsara. We will not be successful otherwise. Okay, so one thing is, it is also saying that don't surrender to anybody else. Okay, surrendering to other people, other devatas. Okay, we need to differentiate between a devata and Paramatma. A devata is also like us at a supreme level. We are better than other animals and birds. A devata is above us, has better better bodies, better skills, better life than us. But they are not Paramatma. They can do better things than us, greater things than us, but they will not be able to give us the liberation. So seeking liberation from somebody else is going to be a waste. We need to surrender to that only one from whom this entire thing got created. Even those devatas got created, we got created, this entire process started from him. So we need to surrender to that person. Treating him as a person. So we need to surrender to that Paramatma who can relieve us from this samsara. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So we start differentiating. So Paramatma started differentiating very clearly himself from other Atmas. He's also calling himself as Purusha only. He called us as Purushas earlier. But he is differentiated. He differentiated himself now from other jivas. So it will be more clear as we go along in this chapter. Okay. Sloka 5. Nirmana moha jita sanga doshaha
Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha
adhyatma nitya vinivrutta kamaha
adhyatma nitya
Vinivrutta kamaha
dvandvair vimukta sukha dukkha sanyaihi
dvandvair vimukta
sukha
sukha
dukkha
sanyaihi
gacchantya mudha padamavyayam tat.
gacchantya mudaha
padamavyayam tat.
Let's chant together.
nirmana
Nirmana
moha
moha
jita
jita
sanga
dosha
dosha
adhyatma nitya
adhyatmanitya
vinivrutta
vinivrutta
kamaha
kamaha
dvandvair
dvandvair
vimukta sukha
vimukta
dukkha
sukha
Sukha
sanyaihi
sanyaihi
gacchantya mudha
Raha padamavyayam tat.
Okay. So Lord Krishna said, you seek the destination. Okay. With non-attachment. And non-attachment, which is mighty, mighty weapon, mighty non-attachment, not just non-attachment that can, today I'm non-attached and tomorrow I'm attached. It's not like that. Firm non-attachment. That will come only with the knowledge. That is, firm knowledge supports that non-attachment, and we are able to practice, do everything that we need to do. And then we seek the destination from where we do not have to return back to the samsara. For that, we surrender to Paramatma. So far, he said that. Now, Lord Krishna is giving who is the one who is going to be reaching the destination. Okay. So these are the things that we need to know, because, I am non-attached. Okay. But what are those characteristics? How should I be doing the things in order to be eligible for getting this liberation? Okay. I mean, there are other places also Lord Krishna mentioned some of the characteristics. Here also is giving again. So one is nirmana moha. Nirmana moha. So those who are free from delusion, moha, that body is self. This is the most fundamental thing. If we don't have this, then we are failing at step 1. Okay. Then jita sanga doshaha, who conquered the evil attachment. Sanga dosha. The attachment, the evil attachment, who have conquered it. What are the attachments? Evil attachment, mainly the attachment to the 3 qualities, right? So we conquered the attachment. Whoever has conquered the attachment to the 3 qualities. Then the next one, adhyatma nityaha. Okay. So who are focused on Atma Jnana, self-realization. Okay. Then vinivritta kamaha, who are not having worldly desires. Okay. Dvandvaihi vimuktaha sukha-dukkha sanyaihi. So it is all together. So who are freed from the dualities. Vimukta is who are freed or liberated. Dvandva is duality. From the dualities or by the dualities, if we know the true translation. Sukha dukkha sanyaihi. Those which are known are called as joy and grief. So basically, it is all those dualities. He gave sukha dukkha as as one of them. So, but whoever is freed from the dualities. Okay. In chapter 2 also he said, free yourself from the dualities, he said. Okay. He told Arjuna. But we learned more in the last few chapters about the dualities, or dvandvas. And we need to free ourselves. That means we need to have balanced mind when we are facing this, when we are facing this sukha dukkha and all those. So we are freed from the influence of or effects of these dualities. Okay. Then amudha. Okay. Amudha is those who are ignorant, who are not enlightened. Mudha is Mudha is ignorant. Amudha is opposite of that. I'm sorry. Amudha is those who are enlightened. Okay. Primarily about the self, right? Body is different from the self. Again, he's typically a Mudha is a person who is considering body as the self. I am body. Okay. If we do know that is the basis of our knowledge. I mean, that is the ignorance we have. Everything will fall from is going to start from there, right? So we become mudha if we are thinking I am body. So amudha is a person who is enlightened about the self, is different from body. And if you extend it, who has the tattva jnana. Okay, so all these gachanti tat padam avyayam. So they attain that padam, destination, because in the previous sloka also used the word padam. So so that destination or state from where, he said, from where there there's no return, coming back into this samsara, right? So from to that destination which is imperishable. I mean, from once you reach that, there is no end to it. I mean, you will never come back. Okay, so these are all the characteristics of the people who reach the destination. So it's a good list. So we need to have that in our mind. I am free from delusion. So let us have these as a checklist in order to check ourselves if we are on path to liberation. Okay, just praying to God is not sufficient. We need to have these in our mind. So I am free. When I say just praying to God is not sufficient, means just pray to God and do whatever we want is not going to solve the problem, is what I'm saying. Of course, we need to pray to God, but we need to pray to Him to seek liberation, knowing that these are the things that will make us eligible, knowing that God is going to take the responsibility of making us these, pass these tests. So I am free from delusion that body is the self. Always remember, it's not like, okay, while reading Bhagavad Gita, or maybe a few days later, up to a few days later, we remember, and after that a situation comes and we still think that, oh, I am body, right? That is not the case. So we should be always free from the delusion. We need to pray to Paramatma. Conquered the evil attachment of the three gunas, focused on Atma Jnana. I'm not having worldly desires. So we should pray to Paramatma that God, please take, please make sure that I am not getting worldly desires. Okay, because I can't do by myself. See, these are the things that we need to pray to Him. I am free from the influence caused by the dualities. So God, relieve me from all the, being influenced by all these dualities, joy, grief, sukha, dukkha, I mean, mana, avamana, all these things should not be affecting me. Physically, sometimes, if we get hurt, we cry. That is one level, that is physical level, that we cannot avoid. But at manas level, at atma level, we should not be affected by it. We should have balanced mind when we face these situations. So we should not be influenced by them, and we should not become like, again, that is getting attached to the qualities. Basically, we face a situation that we do not expect, and immediately we becoming angry, right? So we should pray to God to not not make us get into those situations where I would be feeling angry. I mean, it's not like he has to stop the situation. even if the situation occurs, make sure that I don't become angry. I don't get influenced by it. Because if it is my karma, I have to experience it. I will experience it. So praying to God to remove that is not going to work, because it is already assigned to me. But once it is assigned to me, we can pray to God to relieve us from that influence that it causes to us. Okay, so pray to God to enlighten us about the Tattva Jnana. Let us learn about Atma, Paramatma, Prakriti, and the relationship between them and the truths about them. So we will not be able to, again repeating, we will not be able to achieve this by ourselves. We need to surrender to Paramatma. So by combining the previous sloka and this sloka, we can say that Paramatma is the one who is going to give us these. Any questions on this?
I'm nowhere near, sir, looking at these qualities.
So, we should pray. I'm not, I'm not having worldly desires. So that is a checklist. So we need to say, God, give me the ability to not be influenced by these worldly pleasures and things like that. Right? We should do our duties. If we are faced with something, good or bad, we will experience it. But we need to pray to God to free us from the influence of those events on us. Okay, we don't forget ourselves. That's what happens, right? We forget ourselves. That sloka about dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. So he gave a list. It starts with just thinking about the vishayas, the sense objects. Thinking about nice things. Okay. Typically, we start with, oh, I wish I had that. So that's a nice thing. And then from that, it becomes a desire. It becomes very strong. It becomes a desire, and if the desire is not met, it becomes anger, and then rage, and then we finally forget about ourselves. We start running, running behind that worldly pleasure. Whatever is the sense object it is. Okay, we start running after that, thinking that that is my duty, my responsibility, my only goal in this life is to get that. That's it. I want to get $1 million, or I want to get this kind of car, this kind of house. I want to get this fame in this life. I want to have all these things. But unfortunately, what happens in the end? None of those are going to come with us. Actually, they will. Some part of it will come with us. We'll learn that. What will come with us? Lord Krishna has explained. We won't carry the bank balance, but we will carry something with us.
Yeah, Tanmatras.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions on this? Huh? Okay, 6. न तद्भासयते सूर्यो
न तद्भासयते सूर्यो
न शशाङ्को न पावकः
न शशाङ्को न पावकः
Yad gatva na nivartante
Yadgatva na nivartante
tadhama paramam mama.
tadhama paramam mama
Let's chant together.
Na
Na
tadbhasayate
bhasayate
suryo
suryo
sasanka
Shashanko
pavaka
pavaka
yadgatva na
Yadgatva
nivartante
nivartante
tadhama
Tadhama
paramam
paramam mama.
So, I mean, just word by word meaning, let us see, and then we can interpret that. So, natat bhasayate suryaha. The sun does not illuminate. Bhasayate is illuminate or shine. Tat is, so we're talking about the destination, right? That is what tat it is coming always. Okay. Tat padam tat. So it is that destination. Okay. The destination is not like a place. Don't think that it is some place somewhere. Okay. It is ourselves only. It is maybe I didn't explain in the previous sloka. So that destination is pure state of us, self in the form of unlimited knowledge, self that is not restrained by the karmic bondage or covered by the karmic bondage. So it is pure self in the knowledge form. Okay, so that when we have that, that means there are no roots. The karmic bondage is not there, so there are no roots. So the tree is dead, and then we're not going to come back. So the that is the state. So that state, na bhasayate suryaha. So sun does not shine it or illuminate it. Na sasankaha is moon does not, again is not repeating bhasayate. So the sasankaha is a moon, does not shine it or illuminate it. Na pavakaha, fire does not illuminate it. Okay. Yat gatva na nivartante, again it's coming again. So that state, yet whatever, whichever state that we're talking, yat gatva. So whichever state, gatva is after attaining that state, na nivartante is not returned. Tat dhama paramam mama. Tat that dhama paramam mama. So is mine. Mama is mine. Okay, that is mine. He's saying. Okay, and he's qualifying it as paramam dhama. Dhama paramam. So basically, dhama has two meanings. One is the place or house, or some place, we can say, or and the second is the jyoti, the light or illumination. Okay, so there are two meanings for it. Here, because he's talking about bhasayate, is illumination, we are taking the meaning as, again, that same illumination, that jyoti. Okay, so paramam is the supreme. Okay, so what he's saying is that state is not illuminate, neither sun illuminates, nor moon illuminates, nor the fire illuminates. Typically, illumination is associated with sun, moon, or fire, isn't it? I mean, now we are seeing light bulbs, floodlights, and all this, right? But naturally, what do you think? I mean, you can either get the sun light from the sun, or the moon. Moon is a reflection in, of course, if we don't know also, we can see moon is shining. So, and if we want to do it ourselves, it is the fire. So those are the three things that we know of, which are as part of this nature, which illuminate stuff, right? So none of those illuminate that state, pure state of ourself. Okay. And he's saying that state from where we do not return, so which is the pure state of Atma, pure Atma with knowledge, that Dhama Paramam Mama. So that is my supreme radiance. Here we are taking the meaning as radiance or Jyoti or light, right? So that is my light, my radiance that you see. So there are understood. I mean, so far you're okay?
Not really. My radiance. It's not,
yeah, it is little bit confusing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you will reach a state. I mean, so when we are in the state from where there is no return back, that means when we are in the pure state of Atma, when we are relieved from the entire karmic bondage, we are in the pure state, we are liberated. In that state, we are, that illumination that we have is not by Surya, not because of Surya or sun, moon or fire. It is my radiance. That whatever illumination that you have is mine. So let us look at it. Now, Surya or sun, moon, and fire, they are part of Prakriti.
Yeah.
Right? So you can also take that as devatas.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They are devatas too.
Yeah.
Okay. So the devatas who can give illumination, isn't it?
Yes.
Who can illuminate? We other objects. We can see things clearly. So those devatas who can illuminate the objects, they are incapable of illuminating
Atma.
the Atma. Okay. Understood? So one corollary, the way we can understand that is, if we approach them, if we approach other devatas, thinking that they will give me the pure state of Atma, we will fail. Okay. That's one. Isn't it? They do not illuminate means they cannot give me that state. Isn't it? You agree?
Yeah. Also, are they self? They can be on their own. Sun is giving light, but even sun giving the light, that's from Supreme, right? Isn't that?
Yeah. So the light that is coming is not the light of knowledge.
Property. Okay.
See, that light of knowledge is the illumination that we are talking about. When Atma reaches that pure state from where that it is not going to return back, that the illumination is not the illumination that we see in this world. Okay. That illumination is the illumination of knowledge. Okay, that illumination of knowledge cannot be given by those devatas who can illuminate objects in this world, but they cannot illuminate a self. You understood?
I think, I mean, so if we, I mean, I just trying to follow the flow here, right? In Sloka 4, right? In Sloka 4, we said non-attachment and the destination by reaching out, which who does not return again. And one should surrender to Paramatma, we said, right? That's in Sloka 4, right? I'm trying to understand the flow, right? Then in Sloka 5, what are the things you need to do, right? The evil attachment to 3 gunas, those kind of things, right?
Yeah.
Now in Sloka 6, yes, I get that, that sun, moon, but with pure Atma shining with knowledge is also one of the gunas, right? Satvik, I mean, so...
No, that is different. The sattva, rajas, tamas qualities are qualities of prakriti, not Atma.
Okay.
The light of knowledge that we're talking about, the knowledge that Atma has is not sattva guna that you see in prakriti. The sattva from prakriti is different from the knowledge that Atma has. This is called pure sattva.
Okay.
So they call, you reach a state of pure sattva means you are basically, cleared of the karmic bondage and you are pure knowledge form now. You don't have any, karmic bondage that is covering you. Okay. So Shuddha Sattva, they say, Shuddha Sattva form or, Swarupa, Shuddha Sattva Swarupa, which is, when we translate it, it is a pure form of Atma, they we say, right? It's pure because it is not corrupted or contaminated by the karma. It's not carrying anything that will bring us back to this world. So that shining knowledge. So maybe you got confused because I said knowledge and knowledge equal to sattva that is in prakriti, right? That's not that two. They're different. This knowledge is inherent in Atma. Okay. See, if, when I'm saying that knowledge does not have the the Atma does not have the 3 qualities of nature. So that it sattva, rajas, and tamas, right?
Yes.
That sattva is we are equating it to knowledge, right?
Yes.
Approximately.
Yeah.
So that is a quality of the nature, not the quality of Atma.
Okay.
Atma has its own knowledge, which is equivalent to Paramatma.
I see.
Atma's knowledge is equivalent to Paramatma. So this is inherent with us. We don't have to acquire anything. See, in case of the knowledge that is part of the Prakriti, we need to acquire it. I mean, we are acquiring that. I mean, acquire in the sense we are, getting it, influenced by it, and all that, right? Yeah. Same for Rajas and Tamas also. We are getting from outside. Those qualities are not inherently part of Atma. We are getting from outside, but there is a quality that knowledge we are, in pure form, we are knowledge form only. Okay. Jnanam, Jnayam, Jnanagamyam, right? So we, in one of the slokas we said, we are Jnanakara only. We are form of knowledge. Okay. So that knowledge is shining. That cannot be illuminated by sun, moon, or fire. Okay. That means we cannot be given that knowledge. I mean, our knowledge cannot be shined by them, means they will not be able to liberate us from the karmic bondage. Isn't it? Whatever. So when we reach that state, our knowledge is shining. That jyoti, that dhama, that radiance is also mine, he said. It is also mine, nobody else's. It is not like sun is able to shine that. No, it is Paramatma is the one who can shine this knowledge within us. That means Paramatma is the only one who can give us a pure state of Atma. Okay, so even sun who is illuminating cannot liberate himself also. I mean, so not only others, he cannot become pure, pure state of Atma. He cannot reach the destination by himself. Even sun has to surrender to Paramatma. Okay, so they are able to illuminate objects in this universe. Okay, in this world, physical, materialistic world or nature, but they will not be able to illuminate our knowledge. They will not be able to illuminate our knowledge. Means they cannot, there's nothing that they have to put in us. The knowledge is within us. Our knowledge will shine when the karmic bondage will go away, right? So what Lord Krishna is saying is, those who can illuminate the objects cannot clear the karmic bondage, which will make the knowledge shine. So I am the only one who can clear the karmic bondage for everyone. Like he's the one who can give us the pure state of Atma. So the shining that shining that we get, okay, the shining of that knowledge, that illumination also belongs to Paramatma only. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So when we reach that state, we will not be able to return back. We will not be returning back, and that illumination that we have, that illumination of knowledge, is not given to us by any devata. Even though those devatas are, capable of giving illumination in this world, even they cannot give it. No one else can give it. That knowledge, the shining knowledge, also belongs to me. That is also part of my supreme radiance. Okay. See, I mean, this house belongs to me, the car belongs to me, right? I mean, these are all mine. So I'm the owner. I'm the one who is able to give it that, give that quality. That means I'm the one who can clear the karmic bondage. You see, the knowledge is inherent in us, but that will come up only when the karmic bondage is cleared. So he is the only one who can clear the karmic bondage and make our knowledge shine. And that knowledge, that shining knowledge, is also mine, he's saying. Okay. Did I write anything? Oh, no. Okay. So again, we have to again remind ourselves that all these are saying that these slokas, we are distinct from Paramatma. Paramatma, we surrender to him, and he's the one who can make us eligible to reach the destination. Okay, so he becomes our means, and once we reach, he's the only one who can clear the karmic bondage. And when our knowledge is shining, that knowledge is also his radiance. It also it belongs to him. We belong to him only. Okay, we are always belonging to him. It's not like we get liberated and we can declare our own country. So I mean, don't think, we should not be thinking that I can approach somebody else, and because that other devata is able to do all these things, they can also give me liberation. Approaching each and every devata and asking for liberation is not going to work, because they are incapable of that. I'm the only one who can give the liberation, and even after getting liberation, you belong to me. Okay, so we'll look at 7. Mamai vamso jivaloke
Mamaivaamso jivaloke
jiva bhuta sanatanaha
Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha
manashashtani indriyani
Manasashtandriyani
prakritisthani karshati.
Prakritisthani
Prakritisthani
Karshati
karshati.
Let's chant together. Mamai
Mamaivaamso
Mamaivaamso
Jivaloke
jivaloke Jiva
Bhuta
Bhuta
Sanatanaha
Sanatanaha
Manashashtandriyani
Manasashtandriyani Prakritisthani
Prakritisthani
karshati.
Karshati.
So, it's talking about. So we know we are in this world. We are world of men. I mean, or we are in the samsara, and the cycle of births and deaths. We are in one. Right now we are in this body. Okay. So, it's talking about mama eva amshaha jiva bhutaha sanatanaha. Okay. So the jiva bhutas, we are all jiva bhutas. Okay. Jiva bhutas, jivatmas, jiva, basically we are bound in a body. We are existing in a body, inside a body. Okay. They are bound self or baddha atma. So from here onwards, we'll know. So baddha atmas are the bound atmas. Like we are, we are not liberated. Okay. So sanatanaha, the eternal. So we are, I mean, I don't know when it started, right? Eternal. From that point onwards, we have been in this, in this cycle of births and deaths only. Okay. So sanatanaha jiva bhutaha. We are there forever, and we have been in this cycle of births and deaths. So we are bound selves, or bound or baddha atmas. And he's saying, Mama eva amsaha. So they are my part only. Okay. See, he talked about the one that is liberated earlier. Okay. Liberated one is mine, he said. Isn't it? The previous sloka. We will, even in the state of liberation, you are mine. My amsha only, or my that radiance is mine only. So we are his. Now he's talking about jiva bhutas, bound atmas. They are also my part only. Amsa is part, or integral part, or an inseparable part. So amsha doesn't mean that avatara. It's not, the two are different. We are not avatars of Paramatma, or we are not Paramatma ourselves. Okay. Or it's not like Paramatma, like cut himself into one piece and then put here as us. No. It is, we are part of Paramatma. Everything in this universe is part of Paramatma only, right? So Even the Jiva Bhutas are also his part only. Okay. But what about them, right? What is happening? So Jiva Loke. So in this world, in this world of samsara, so these Jiva Bhutas are in this world, right? So what are they doing? Manaha sesthani indriyani prakritisthani karshati. So what are these Jiva Bhutas doing? They are present in this prakriti sthani. Okay, they are situated in this prakriti. That means they are having a body. Okay, body is made of prakriti, living in this prakriti, right? Now, what is it doing? It is part of the body is we have the indriyas, right? So he's giving 6 indriyas here. Sesthani. What are the 6 indriyas? The Jnanendriyas and manas together. So with these indriyas, okay, he's doing, what is that Jiva Bhuta doing? Doing karshati. Karshati is one who is pulling, drawing in the sense pulling towards himself, attracting or plowing. So those are all the meanings. So imagine this Jiva Bhuta is plowing in this prakriti with using the indriyas. Okay. Okay. So he's I mean, we are, I mean, he means not somebody else. We are every one of us is Baddhatma only, is a bound self. So we are basically plowing this so within this prakriti with these indriyas. So we got these indriyas and then we are using them. Okay. It will be clear in the next sloka. Let us see the next sloka. Okay. Sloka 8. Sariram yadavapnoti
Yadavapnoti
yachapyutkramati ishvaraha
Apyutkramati Swaraha
gruhitvaitani samyati
Gruhitvaitani Samyati
vayurgandhani vasayat.
Vayurgandhani Vasayat
Let's chant together.
Shriram
Sariram
Yadavapnoti Yajapyutkramati Swaraha Gruhitvaitani Samyati Vayurgandhani Vasayat.
Okay. So this Baddha Jiva is getting bodies one after the other. Okay. So what he's saying is Sariram yatavapnoti yat utkramati Ishvaraha. Okay. So Ishvaraha is the subject of the sentence. Okay. So who is the Ishvara? Ishvara is, he's saying Avapnoti is getting or acquiring. Sariram is body. Okay. So this Ishvara is not the God. Not every Ishvara is, otherwise, if somebody names himself as Ishvara, he'll become God. So we have to look at the context. So Ishvara means the controller. Okay, that's the meaning. So here we have to take this as a, in that context, the meaning of that is whoever is the controller or ruler. Okay, and the controller or ruler is who for the body? Is Jivatma, right? Or self, or Baddha Jivas. We are all now the controllers of this body, right? If we are not there, then the body is not going to function. So for the body, we are the Ishvara. For all of us, he is the Ishvara, right? So in the context of the body, we are talking about Baddha Jivas and the bodies. So we means Jivatma. So Jivatma, Sariram yat avapnoti. So whatever or whichever body it acquires, yat chapi utkramati. So from there, so once it is acquiring that sharira, it won't live in that sharira forever, right? Whatever sharira it is leaving or departing, okay, what happens? Gruhitva etani samyati. Etani. So etani is these. So what are those? When in the previous sloka I talked about the indriyas. So we are basically Jiva Bhuta is plowing or drawing to itself these indriyas, he said. And now he's saying holding this. Gruhitva is taking, holding, taking with it. Etani, so these indriyas. Samyati, it leaves or he goes. Where he goes to another body, right? So from up to here, it is talking about the Jiva Bhuta. So Jiva Bhuta, whatever body it acquires and from whichever body it leaves, it is taking along with itself these senses, okay, to another body. Like Iva, like Vayur Gandha. So Vayuhu Gandhan Asayat. So just like how the air, Vayuhu, carries the fragrance, Gandhan, from its place. Asayat is from its place. So wherever that, so let us say the fragrance is in one place. So Vayu, when it flows from that place to another place, it carries that fragrance along with it. The fragrance could be of a flower. Then it carries the fragrance from that flower to wherever the Vayu, the air goes. Or it could be on a sandalwood. It carries the fragrance from the sandalwood to another place. So wherever the air is going, it is carrying the fragrance with it. So like that, the Ishvara, the Jivatma, in the Jiva Bhutas, in the bodies, it is carrying these senses from one body to another body. So he's saying yet like that. So that means it doesn't matter what body it takes. From whatever body, it could be a body of an insect, it could be a body of animal, bird, snake, could be even any body in this universe. It is carrying the senses along with it. Okay. Any questions on this? You should get a question on this.
Anybody means even if, as you're saying, like even if you get the different body than Manushya,
Yeah.
Still those senses, man and buddhi will go with that?
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, we are not going to carry the sense itself, right? For example, the eyes, right? We don't carry when the Jivatma is leaving the body, it doesn't carry the eyes with itself, right? The eyes as a physical part will remain here only. Okay. That's why Lord Krishna has given this example. So the fragrance from its place, it is carrying, the air is carrying. It is not carrying the fruit, the flower itself. Like the flower is having the fragrance, right? When it flows over the flower, it carries the fragrance with it, not the flower itself. Okay. So the fragrance is what? It's an effect of the flower. Fragrance is because of the flower, right? It is not like fragrance exists even without the flower or a sandalwood or some, good. I mean, talking about good, smells. There could be not so good smells as well. But whatever maybe that smell is coming because of some object, right? So when air flows on that object, it is carrying the smell with it, not the object itself.
Right.
So wherever it goes, that other, let's say the flower is 1 meter away from me, and then the air is flowing over the flower, and I can get the fragrance. When air is coming to me into my nose, and I can get the fragrance. I can feel the fragrance, smell it, right? So I don't have to put the flower into my nose to get the fragrance. That air is carrying the fragrance. Okay, that fragrance won't come unless the flower is there. So when I get the fragrance, I know there was a flower, isn't it?
Right.
So the fragrance is an effect of the flower.
Correct.
Okay. So here, when Lord Krishna is saying, when you take the senses, when the Jivatma takes these senses from one body to another body, it is taking the effects of those senses from one body to another body. The actual senses will be here only in that body, whichever it is leaving. But whatever was the effect of those senses, it is carrying with it. Got it? The influences, the effects. I believe the word vasana has come because of that only. So we are saying, though, we have karma vasanas. What does that mean, right? We are carrying so much karma vasanas, just vasanas is what they use. So it is carrying from the previous life to this life. That so these effects of those senses are carried from one life to another life. Effects of those senses are all like that we like, we don't like, those things, right? When I smell something, I like it. That's an effect that I carry from one to another life, one life to another life. Okay.
So I have a question. Means
Yeah.
when you had another birth other than man, right? As a human, if you take birth like animal birth, right? The impact of those vasanas on those animals.
So they will have their own likings, dislikings based on those vasanas.
Okay.
Right. So it is carrying the effects of those senses with them, and that will determine, that will shape the next life.
Mm-hmm.
So we are not going to start from scratch. We are carrying things from previous lives. So now imagine so many millions of lives are going on. So we are carrying all those things with us.
Right.
Right. It's not like whatever effect is there, it is going to stay for one. Like if you put some perfume on the clothes, it will stay for a long time, right?
Right.
Like that, whatever effects that we are carrying from one life to another life will be there for us for many lives to come, depending on how much attached we were. Depends on those things, but we are affected by what we did in the previous lives.
Got you. Thank you.
Sure. There are two more slokas. If we can cover, that'll be great. We'll try to. Is that okay?
Sure.
Sure.
Most probably 10-15 minutes, probably. They are kind of related, so we'll complete that. Next sloka, 9. Srotram chakshusparsanam cha
Sotram chakshusparsanam cha
rasanam ghranameva cha
Rasanam
rasanam
pranameva
granameva cha
adhisthaya manaschayam
adhisthaya
manaschayam
manaschayam
vishayanupasevate.
vishayanupasevate.
Chant together.
Srotram
Srotram
Chakshusparsanam cha
chakshusparsanam cha
rasanam
rasanam
ghranameva
granameva
cha
cha
adhisthaya
adhisthaya
manaschayam
manaschayam
Vishayanupasevate.
vishayanupasevate.
So is listing the indriyas here so that there's no confusion. So Srotram, Chakshuhu, Sparshanam, Rasanam, Granam. These are the 5 indriyas. And Manas. Okay. So Srotram is the ear, Chakshu is the eye, Sparshanam is the sense of touch. The skin gives a sense of touch. Rasanam is the tongue for tasting, and Granam is the nose for smelling, sense of smell. So these are, and the manas, manaha is a manas. Okay, we roughly translate it to mind, and mind people translate it to brain, but it is the, you can say the indriya that controls these 5 senses. That is manas, is also another indriya. So that is why 6 indriyas. So see, he listed all the 6, and then adhisthaya. So adhisthaya, after presiding over. So basically it is sitting on top. This imagine, this what is I am. So I am is the Jiva Bhuta. Now he's talking about the Jivatma, right? So that Jivatma, adhisthaya, after presiding over these 6 senses, okay, what is it doing? It is doing Vishayan upasevate. Simple. Okay, Vishayas. Vishayan is the second vibhakti in the object sense. So that is a sensory objects or objects of senses, right? So all these senses, sensory organs, they are having some objects. So they are sound, touch, form, taste, and smell, right? So this Jiva Bhuta, Jivatma, bound Atma, is upasevate, enjoying these sensory objects. Adhishtaya, by presiding over all these senses. Okay, so it is making them suitable for enjoying. Okay, so it is basically, it is sitting on the top and then saying, okay, now make it suitable to make all these senses suitable to enjoy the sense objects, and then starts enjoying those experiences, or experiences the sense objects. Okay, very simple. But what is happening here? So it is the Jiva Bhuta, instead of thinking of Paramatma, it is becoming focused on experiencing the sense objects. That is why it is bound, Atma. It gets always bound to the samsara. So we need to remember that we are running after the senses. We are controlling them, or we are not controlling in the sense that we are governing them. We are saying, I want to watch a movie. Okay. So, we are making the eyes suitable to enjoy that movie, and like whatever it needs to be done, right? And then we go and see the movie, and then we experience it, we enjoy it. That becomes our life. Our life is totally defined as just running after the senses, running I want to experience the sensory objects of senses. That's it. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay, so now 10, Sloka 10. Utkramantam sthitam vapi
Utkramantam sthitam vapi
bhunjanam va gunanvitam
bhunjanam va gunanvitam
Gunanvitam
vimudhananupasyanti
vimudhananupashyanti
pasyanti gnanachakshushaः.
pashyanti gnanachakshushaः.
Let's chant together.
Utkramantam vapi
vapi
bhunjanam va
Gunanvitam
vimudhananupasyanti pasyanti
Pashyanti
gnanachakshushaः. So, in the previous sloka, basically our life has become, we define our life as, okay, I need to govern my senses and do everything to enjoy the experiences, of those senses. Okay, experience those sensory objects through the senses. That is defined as our life. That is what is Baddha Jiva. So in this sloka, Lord Krishna is saying that vimudhaha, okay, so vimudhaha are ignorant and enlightened people, unenlightened people, okay. What do? Na anupasyati. anupasyanti. Vimudhaha is a plural, so pasyanti is a plural. Na anupasyanti is they do not perceive. What do they do not perceive? Utkramantam, one who is leaving. Sthitam, one who is staying. Bhunjanam, one who is experiencing. Gunanvitam, one who is associated or influenced by the gunas. He doesn't see. Okay. So what does that mean? He doesn't see something that is different in our body, which is living. Something that is staying in our body, which is there, and that's why the body is working. So he's not able to differentiate what is inside this body, which is making it function. He doesn't, is not able to see what is in this body that is enjoying, means is experiencing all those things, and what is in this body which is influenced by the gunas. He's not able to see. That is an ignorant person. Okay. But pasyanti jnana chakshushaha. So jnana chakshushaha is the wise people who have the jnana chakshu. So that is the knowledge eyed, or eyes of having the eyes of knowledge. They are able to see. So their eyes of knowledge means the knowledge of Atma being different from body. So one who knows Atma is different from body, they know that there is something in this body which will be leaving sometime later. Okay. There is something in this body which is making this function. And only because it is there, it is this body is functioning, and it is enjoying the experiences. Means, what is happening. So once it experiences the things through the senses, it is going to carry those, right? Not only in this life, but it will carry to the next life, good and bad, and whatever is the effect of it. Like if I smell something really bad, it doesn't stop there, right? Then I will shout at somebody saying that why did you do this, or why didn't you take care of this, why is it smelling bad, and all that. So all the effects of that that experience of that sense is carried with me. Okay. In some form that it's difficult for us to imagine even. And there is something that is in our body which is not having the gunas of the Prakriti, but it is impacted or affected or influenced by the gunas of the Prakriti. Okay, whatever gunas that we are saying, typically, desires and anger and all these things, they're all not me. They are somebody, they are of body. I am different. All that is going to be perceived only by those who have the eyes of knowledge. Okay. Any questions on this? You understood so far?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we are using karmendri, that in indriyas for, that's what I explained in prior sloka, right? The karmendriyas.
Jnanendriyas.
Sorry, jnanendriyas. Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever we are
worldly pressures
experiencing through the jnanendriyas, we will carry them from one to other. So the ones that we are experiencing are called tanmatras. So the that actually came in the previous chapter. So basically, we will carry those experiences from one life to another, which will define us in a future life. Like I like to eat really hot, for example. Okay, someone right next to me, maybe born to the same mother, like to eat very cold. If you say hot and cold, or if it is spicy or non-spicy, it could be different, right? Every person is having different differences. Okay, all those differences are some of them are made in this life, but some we don't know, like how we get them. They're carried from our previous births. Okay, so we are these Baddha Jivas, they are almost using these senses to as an instrument to experience and get the results and carry from one life to another life. So if we are in that mode, right, like forgetting about ourselves, that the Atma, and we think that I am body and I am experiencing this thing. This is my goal. I need to be happy, experiencing good things in my life. That could be opinions that I made in this life or carry from previous lives. Whatever it is, I'm always running after them, and then in effect I will again get more and more vasanas, and then I carry that along with me into the next life. That vasanas will drive me again. It will force me to do things in the next life. Again, the cycle continues. So there is no break basically. But one who is able to see that I am different from this body, and I got these vasanas because of my previous births, and then I will be able to differentiate myself from all those vasanas, all those experiences, and then I will focus on what should be my duty. I mean, my duty, I have to do whatever is assigned to me in this life, and my ultimate goal, destination is to reach a state where I don't get into these cycles again and again. Okay, so that's what we covered so far in 15th chapter. And for all these things, Paramatma is the one who is going to make it possible for us. So we surrender to Paramatma, because we cannot do it by ourselves. We are incapable of doing that, nor the other devatas are capable of giving us anything that is related to liberation. They may give us some worldly pleasures, and they'll if we have worldly desires, then they may be able to satisfy those, but they will not be able to give us liberation at all. Only Narayana can do that. Okay, so that is very clear in all our shastras. So those who want liberation, they pray to Narayana. So, I mean, it's not that we should not have senses at all, or we should not be, experiencing the senses, but it is that we should not become slaves to the senses. Okay, our goal should not be to experience the senses. Our goal should be to utilize the senses for the sake of Paramatma, realizing ourselves, and for realizing Paramatma. So so we should not get a doubt, if senses are causing all these things, I should not have senses. That's not going to work. I mean, unfortunately, people who don't have eyes or ears, they suffer a lot. So we shouldn't be in that situation. We should have them, but we should be using them for the purpose of reaching our goal. Any questions, anything before we close for today?
Good, Andy. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll conclude with the concluding prayer. Kayena vacha manasendriva buddhyatmana va prakrite swabhava karomi
Sakalam
yat
Narayanati
parasme
Samarpayami.
narayanaayati
Samarpayami.
Sriman Narayanayati
Narayanaayati
Samarpayami
Samarpayami.
Sarvam
Sarvam
Sri
Sri
Krishna
Krishna
Arpanamastu.
Arpanamastu.